the last year has been insane with some of the prices compared to what we are used to. But it's the drivers that are forcing this to happen. It's slow incremental growth. It's not really that explosive. So because those drivers aren't like a boom and bust, it is. I do believe it will be, this type of slow incremental growth that we would love to see.
Right.
I'm still buying stuff and building stuff and developing stuff. So, if I was afraid of all of a sudden our market imploding, I wouldn't be doing that.
Hi there, my name is Lynn.
My name is Martin May. Together, we run New Brunswick Property Deals, where we connect savvy investors, both local and from out of province, to off-market properties with amazing cash flowing potential.
So whether you are a first-time homebuyer or an experienced investor, we can find you your next investment property here in New Brunswick.
You mentioned that you personally own, quite a few properties here over the years. What are some of the KPIs that you personally use? For example, in outside of New Brunswick, people go by the 1% rule. They will look at cap rates.
My biggest one that I use is the net. I take the net operating income, and if I multiply that by 10, if I can buy it for that price, I know I'll be safe. Okay, I know that I'm making money in the buy. I know it'll cash flow. I know I'll be able to work with that. So if the net operating income on a triplex is $20,000, so after all the expenses are scrubbed out and everything like that, the maintenance, the management, the heat, the electricity, the water, the property taxes, if all the net operating income is $20,000, I know that if I buy that for $200,000, I'm going to be fine. Now, that is an aggressive way to purchase property, and a lot of people are more than willing to pay more than that. However, I'm looking for the deals. I'm looking for, because of the industry I'm in, I see a whole lot of different opportunities out there. So I'm not going to pick an opportunity that's good. I want a great opportunity.
Absolutely.
And I am certainly willing to say no and let somebody else buy this one.
Yeah.
So if I can get 10 times net operating income, I know that I'll be fine. No problem at all. I know that if I have to sell it because of whatever, I'll be able to sell it. I'll be able to cover my losses. I've made money in the buy, and I know it cash flows.
Right. But see, what I see a lot of investors were doing, even myself, right? When I bought my first property here in New Brunswick, I got really excited when I saw the low acquisition prices while comparing to what I'm used to in Montreal.
Right.
And then I was like, this is such a great deal, but without doing too much due diligence on my end. So now, the whole point of the value I'm creating to my investors is, for them to take a second look and kind of do their due diligence and use like the New Brunswick benchmarks, right? So before...
Right. Don't use a Calgary benchmark for New Brunswick.
Exactly.
Right. And don't overcomplicate it.
Yeah.
Too many real estate investors suffer from analysis paralysis. They analyze it because they're terrified of making a mistake. And 9 times out of 10, the mistake they're making is they're not performing an action. Okay? If you move forward with something and you make a mistake, you'll be able to recover.
Yeah.
You'll be able to figure it out. You'll be able to learn. You'll be able to...
It's a forgiving game. That's what
right.
we say.
Okay, great. This year, guess what? You lost money.
Yeah.
You're going to make money for the next 8.
Yeah.
So relax. Yeah. Okay? So don't sit there and overanalyze it. Just, yes, do your due diligence. Try to mitigate any risks, but take action. Because if I put a building on the market, because it was a great time to sell, I put a building on the market last month, and I had, I think, 18 offers within a week. Okay? And if somebody wants to sit around and think about, oh, gee, I don't know if I like this street. I don't know if I like these numbers. I don't know if I like, the tenant's name. Great, somebody else will buy it. Yeah. You got to take action.
That's true. Yeah. Especially in the market like today where it's, you receive 18 offers
on
one property.
Yeah. I know.
Sure.
We're not used to that.
Yeah.
That may happen in downtown Toronto. That may happen in Vancouver and stuff like that. But here, it's not happening. So if there's an opportunity that you think will work, do some basic due diligence and put in an offer. Yeah. It's free to put in an offer.
That's true.
So put in an offer. Then you're at least dancing with the partner.
Yeah.
And if you find out in the inspection, oh, gee, the foundation is ready to fall apart.
Right.
Okay, you can deal with that.
Right.
But get on the dance floor.
Let's talk more about the properties here. As we know, like St. John is a really older city.
Oldest incorporated city in Canada.
Right, that's what I've
We
been
have
told.
the oldest police force, the oldest, fire department. We have like some great utilities with our internet with Bell Alliant and with St. John Energy. So we are an old city, though.
Right. Well, obviously, that comes with, that means most of the buildings here, especially in this part of town, they're much older. What are some of the most, common property problems that you come across, Because for someone that's coming from Toronto, where they're used to seeing brand new condo buildings,
Right.
what kind of stuff should I really look out for?
One of the biggest things is a building may have, it may be an 80-year-old building. The thing that always worries me is that an owner 40 years ago might have got their cousin Bob to rewire a unit because Bob knows electricity.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you look at what Bob did and you're like, oh my Lord, how did this place not burn down yet?
Yeah.
So look at the electrical. Plumbing sometimes can be a little wonky because they had a cousin, Hank.
Yeah.
The foundation, structurally, there's a lot of floors in St. John are a little crooked because 40 years ago, the building shifted a little bit. It hasn't moved since, but the floors are a little crooked.
Right.
It's not terrible or anything like that, but that is a sign of a structural problem that had existed in the past. It may not be an issue right now. It may have settled and it may have been like that for the last 40 years. Or there could be a broken structural beam somewhere. And, so those are the things I would worry about, because that can be potentially damaging. If you buy a building and all of a sudden the structure is shot, that's a really expensive fix.
Absolutely.
So that's what I would be looking for.
I guess like the best way to really know that for out of province investors is an inspection and also a property manager to check out the place in person.
Right. Like I've been in a lot of these buildings in St. John, so I know, I know who used to own it. I know who lives there. I know, what the floors are already like. I know, if this is going to be a further issue or not, if this is a problem or not.